Okay, so in this unit, we're going to actually use our skills of factoring third-degree polynomials so we can actually solve equations. Here's one where if you take a look at it, you'll say, hey, looks like synthetic division or factor by grouping would be my choices, right? 28 is not a perfect cube, so we don't have a real good shortcut. If you choose factor by grouping, you'll say, hey, x squared is a common factor from the first two, leaves us x minus 7. Negative 4 is a common factor from the third and fourth term, leaves us x minus 7. Using the distributive property, we know one factor is x minus 7. The other factor is x squared minus 4. We can continue the factor. The x minus 7 will leave alone. We know x times x makes x squared. The negative on the 4 tells us the signs do not match. And of course, 2 times 2 will make 4. And 2 minus 2 adds up to 0 because there's no x's in the middle. 3 different equations to solve. Right? We set each factor equal to 0. Solve each equation. And while it's not required, it's customary to then put the solutions in order from least to greatest. Then solve for x. Hey, it's the exact same question. What if I don't recognize it as factor by grouping? Well, synthetic division. I'll try positive 2 because that's the factor that seems to work most often. Drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Oh my goodness, it worked. So 2 is one of my solutions, and then I'll find the others. That 1, negative 5, negative 14 equals 0 becomes x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Go ahead and factor. 2 times negative 7 makes a negative 14. 2 subtract 7 makes a negative 5. And I can solve those equations to get our second and third answer. Again, here I actually did put them in order from least to greatest. And you can see that one of the solutions came from synthetic division. The other two solutions came from factoring the resulting equation. But hey, we still had a factor. What if I want to completely avoid factoring? Okay, once again, the exact same equation. I'm going to set it up for synthetic division. I'll try 2. Drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. And of course, 2 worked. Now I'm going to do synthetic division again, but I'm starting with my new equation. I'm starting with that 1, negative 5, negative 14. I'm going to try negative 2. Drop, multiply, add, multiply, add. Oh my goodness, negative 2 also worked. Now I'm going to do synthetic division again, but I'm going to start with my new equation, just that 1 and negative 7. I'll try 7, and sure enough, 7 works out. Those are our 3 solutions, which of course we knew we better get because the other methods got those 3 solutions. And all 3 solutions came from synthetic division. So I could have used factor by grouping, or I could have done synthetic division once and then factored, or I could use synthetic division to find all 3 roots. New example. Once again, I can notice that it's a perfect cube because, like, oh my goodness, 64 is just 4 to the third power. And I notice it's a 1, 3, 3, 1 pattern. Right, so there's really no work to show. It's just x minus 4 to the third power. In other words, it's x minus 4 times x minus 4 times x minus 4. Now, I'm going to be a little bit silly here, and I'm going to solve it all 3 times. But you should be able to say, hey, if it's x minus 4 to the third power, the only answer I'm going to get is 4, right? If I'm silly, I could do it 3 times, but the only answer I'm going to get is 4. Exact same question. If I don't recognize it as a perfect cube, synthetic division. Of course, I better try 4 because that's the only solution on this one. Drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. I'm like, okay. One of the solutions was 4. I now can factor the equation x squared minus 8x plus 16. Right, that's that bottom line from the synthetic division. It's equal to 0. Factor. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get positive 4 2 more times. Right, so 4, 4, and 4 are the answers. And again, that's kind of like the Department of Redundancy department. I only really need to list the 4 once. But 2 of those 4s came from factoring. 1 of those 4s came from the synthetic division. And of course, if I don't want to do any factoring at all, right, because I still had a factor here, exact same question again, and I'm just going to do synthetic division. Again, I better use 4 because that's the only solution that works. Drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Now I start over with my new reduced equation. Again, I better try 4 because that's the only thing that's going to work. Drop, multiply, add, multiply, add. Synthetic division the third time using our reduced equation. Drop, multiply, add. Remember, with these PowerPoints, you can always pause and rewind if you find me going a little bit too quick in places. And again, when I get the same answer 3 times, I really only have to list it once, right? The only answer is 4. Call it a triple solution. Holy cow. Huh, double holy cow. And a purple cow. Double holy cow, a purple cow, and a very happy cow with a butterfly.